Free will versus determinism. Did you choose to read this? The trap hidden in every decision. Before you read another word, consider this. The decision to continue reading was either the inevitable output of prior causes stretching back to the Big Bang, or it was genuinely yours. There is no comfortable middle ground that does not eventually collapse into one of those two positions. This is the problem of free will, and it has been quietly undermining human self-understanding for centuries. Determinism holds that every event in the universe, including every thought you have ever had, every choice you have ever made, every love you have fallen into and crawled out of, was fixed at the moment the universe began. Cause follows cause in an unbroken chain. You are not the author of your life. You are its most convincing character. The clockwork universe. Isaac Newton gave determinism its most seductive form. His laws described a universe of perfect mechanical regularity, a cosmic clockwork in which knowing the position and momentum of every particle at any moment would allow you, in principle, to calculate everything that would ever happen. The French mathematician Pierre-Simon Laplace made this explicit in 1814, imagining a demon of infinite intelligence who, given a complete snapshot of the universe, could compute its entire future without error. Your next thought, your next heartbeat, your next supposed choice, already written. The unsettling power of this view is that it does not feel wrong. Neuroscience has spent decades discovering that your brain makes decisions before your conscious mind is aware of them. Benjamin Libet's famous 1983 experiments showed that neural activity preceding a voluntary wrist movement began nearly half a second before participants reported the conscious intention to move. The decision, apparently, was made without you. Consciousness arrived late to its own story, not as the author, but as the narrator reading from a script already written. Quantum doubt and its limits, then came quantum mechanics, and determinism cracked, though not in the way free will defenders hoped. At the subatomic level, events are genuinely probabilistic. An electron does not have a predetermined position. Radioactive decay does not happen on a schedule. The universe, at its foundation, is not a clockwork. It is a dice game. But here is the catch that should stop you celebrating. Randomness is not freedom. If your decisions are ultimately traceable to random quantum fluctuations in your neurons, you have not gained agency. You have merely traded a deterministic puppeteer for a probabilistic one. A choice that happens by chance is not more yours than a choice that happens by necessity. The will that wanted something meaningful has been handed a coin flip instead. Compatibilism, the elegant escape attempt. Most philosophers today are compatibilists. They argue that free will and determinism are not actually in conflict, because free will has been defined too dramatically. What we really mean by freedom, they suggest, is not the ability to have caused something uncaused. It is the ability to act according to your own reasons, desires, and values without external coercion. A person who chooses coffee over tea, uncoerced, is free in every sense that matters, even if that preference was shaped by genetics, childhood, and 10,000 prior mornings. This is intellectually satisfying until you ask, where did those reasons, desires, and values come from? You did not choose your brain. You did not choose the experiences that shaped it. The self doing the choosing is itself a product of forces the self never chose. Compatibilism saves free will by quietly shrinking it. And some argue what remains is barely worth the name. Why it matters enormously, this is not a purely academic puzzle. If determinism is true, then moral responsibility, the entire architecture of praise, blame, punishment, and desert that holds civilization together, rests on a philosophical fiction. The criminal could not have done otherwise. Neither could the hero. Retributive punishment becomes as absurd as kicking a clock for running slow, and yet we cannot live as though it were true. Every plan you make, every apology you offer, every promise you keep assumes that the future is genuinely open and that you genuinely control something. The question may be undecidable, but the way you answer it, or refuse to, quietly shapes everything you do next, which of course was already determined.